welcome you to Here Connects. So in the previous video of the storytelling series, we talk about how to tell stories in different types of speeches. In this video, also the last video of the storytelling series, I will share with you about how to tell an impactful story. In this video, we will go through three sections. The first one, what is an impactful story? Second, what components of a story that make it so impactful? And last but not least, we will go deep down into those components to see how it works. Are you ready? Let's go! So first session, what is an impactful story? So in the first video of this series, I have shared with you a story must be relatable and useful to be unforgettable. But to be impactful means that the story not only is remembered by the audience, but it must leave an influence in the audience. And by that I mean that your audience not only feel connected with the story, but they feel also an inner motivation to learn your lesson from the story. They will feel inspired and they want to do the things that you did in the story to change themselves, whether their perspective of life or whether their behavior. So that is an impactful story. And in order to do so, the story must bear the last characteristic, which is authentic. You heard it right. Authenticity of the story is the key to make the story impactful. Why? Because we all know that a story plays a role in connecting people, right? And from the ancient time until the modern day, we transfer the lesson, the value through stories. We tell story, we tell folk story when we were young. We tell the story of many great people and their lessons and how they overcome their difficulties to learn to inspire others. And even your story or your father, your mother, your friend's stories also can be considered as a source of inspiration to help other people grow. So therefore, the authenticity must be kept, because many stories out there were made up, right? It is not real, it's not authentic anymore. It is bluffed off and it was fake a lot, and it gradually lose the value in the story. So authenticity is what makes your story impactful. So therefore, in the second session, what components that make a story impactful? So as explained in the first session, we know that a story which is impactful must have authenticity. So we will find out what components that create the authenticity, the sense of authenticity in a story. We all know that any story will have context, time, event, character, and climax, outcomes, right? But did you notice that in any stories, we may have the same context, the same plot twist, the same outcomes, the same time, same place, same behavior? But there are two things that are not always the same. Or I can say, those are the unique components that make a story authentic. And those are, first, the characters. And the second is dialogue between characters. Why? Characters is a lively matter in a story, right? So the way we build up the character behavior, their attitude, their mindset their appearance in the story, that it can create a sense of authenticity in the story, because they can see, they can imagine a real person right there in front of them, and they can feel connected because they also have a past experience with some of the characters in their mind. So building up a real, a lively character is super important to deliver an authentic story. And so why dialogue? Why dialogue? We all know that in real life, right? In real life, we all have our own mindset, our way of using languages. So each of us is unique in using our own language, our own mindset, our own perspective, our own ideas. And dialogue is the result of those things combined. Mindset, ideas, perspective, language uses. And when we speak out, that is unique for ourselves in real life. So it happened the same in a story. The character, they have their own mindset, own language system, own perspective, own idea, and they speak it out for themselves. Those sentences, words are unique. Yet I see so many people usually ignore and leave aside that part. But from now on, I tell you, it is super important if you want to deliver an impactful story, because that thing make your story authentic. So in the last session, I will go deep down into those two components. The first, the character components, and the second is the dialogue component, so that to help you understand how it works, and then you can apply to tell and to make an impactful story. So in order to make your characters lively in the speech, there are three ways. The first one is to give that character a true identity. Second is to demonstrate their unique features. And last but not least, which is also an advanced one that I have discovered recently, that is the character space. So what is a character space? I will explain to you later on, but let's go with the first two of how to make a character lively. So first, what is giving your character a true identity? A true identity is just don't stop by my father, my mother, my nephew, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my teacher, my student, yada yada yada. No, those are generic terms to call a person. It's not true identity at all. So a true identity actually means a very simple thing, a name. You can give your character a name, maybe a real name in the real life, or if you don't want to hurt the person in real life, you can give that character an alternative name. For example, my name is Hugh, but in the story I may be called Hughes, which is also the same but different. Or we can give a nickname. A nickname can be anything. You can call me a very energetic person, or an energetic bone, because I'm big and I'm energetic. Or you can call a cutie cat or a naughty boy, whatever. Just give them a true identity that the audience can immediately imagine your character inside their head. Just so you can see that just a mere father, mother, you cannot imagine. But an angry mom, we all have an angry mom. So immediately your audience can imagine the image inside their head, and they immediately feel connected. So that is the first way to make your character lively, give them a true identity. So the second technique to make your character lively is to add unique features into that character. It can be their body, how they look like, or it can be the way they behave, or it can be a specific words or sentences that they use in their daily life. For example, you want to describe your friends like an energetic ball, like me. I'm very big and I'm very energetic. So you can describe your friend as an energetic ball, very big and very energetic. Or the way that your character behave also is very important. For example, if you want to demonstrate an angry mom, you can do this. Or this can be applied for an angry Remy as well. Or specific words or sentences such as, well. You know what character I'm demonstrating, right? That is Maleficent. So by doing that, you immediately make your audience imagine the character inside their mind, and they can immediately feel connected with the audience that you are demonstrating on the stage. Yes, those three things that can be used as unique features to be added in your character to make them lively on the stage. Most of you may wonder, so what happened if in my story I have so many characters? You ask the right questions, because in an event there will not always be 2 or 3 characters, but there are a lot of characters involved. So what matters here is to pick the characters that matters. That character must play a super important role in the story, which is called the main character. And if you cannot decide which are the main characters you want to add in your story, you base on the second component, dialogue. Which dialogue are super important? One person may have 1 or 2 lines which are important, but as long as that sentence is super important, it must be included. So my way I learned is that you can combine those different characters, those small characters into one by combining their lines to create a new main character. You can give that person the unique feature of each small character, or you can just use one unique outstanding feature of that character to create a new main character. But remember to find out, to pick out the most influencing character in your story to choose. And I recommend you don't have to use a lot of characters in your story. Normally we should only have 2 to 3 characters at max, so that the audience can have time to identify and to recognize those characters, and it can spend more time in learning the lessons instead of remembering which character is. Okay, 2 to 3 only. And if there are so many characters, combine them combine all the features or just the one unique features. But remember to pick out the important lines that they say inside the story. That is how you can solve the problem. So the last technique to make your character lively, which also an advanced one, is to create a character space. Even though it's an advanced technique, but it's also very simple, but yet not many speakers pay attention to this. That is the character space. So what is a character space? A character space means you create a character and you create a space for that character to live in. For example, the teacher, you create a school for the character teacher to teach there, and you depict the stage. On the left side is the school, and then wherever the character that appear, it must appear on the left side, because the left side is the school. Same thing happen in a kitchen. You have a conversation with your mom, and if you sit down on the left side and your mom sit down on the right side, so wherever there comes a line of you, you must stand on the left side, and when your mom starts speaking, it must be from the right side. You don't have to move. If you can move, that is good. But as I'm filming this video on a chair, so I cannot move so much. Therefore, I just need to turn myself a little bit to the right. That I starting from the back, from the left, and I'm talking with the person on my right side. And same thing happen. If I want to change to the other character to have a conversation with me, I just need to turn my chest to the left, just like I'm talking with the person on my left. So that is how you create a character space. But whenever you decide on the left side is what character, so that character must start on that side. Isn't it interesting, right? But not many people pay attention to that character space. And yet, that is how you make your character lively. First, give them a true identity. Second, add unique features to that character. And last but not least, character space. So the second component to make your story authentic is dialogue. This one is very simple. What you hear in real life, just put it in the story. Just to keep it as original as possible. But remember, just pick the lines that matter. So, how to identify an important line? I cannot tell you. You must use your own experience to decide. But I can give you some tips to recognize what is that important line that you should use for the character. So as long as it's a line that creates emotion change in yourself, like you may be very happy at the moment, but after hearing that line, you become sad and feel something miserable in yourself. Or you can change from the status of being happy to very joyful and excited. As long as that line creates a change in emotion, that line matters. Or you can pick up some generic line to keep the event in the story going on and on and on, or to explain what happened in that context. So those are lines or dialogues between characteristics to make your story remarkable and authentic. And by using all of those techniques that I have shared with you, your story will not only be remarkable, unforgettable, but impactful. So that is also the end of the storytelling series. I don't know, in the future I may discover, I may learn something new about storytelling. But at this time, those are the most important things I want to deliver to you. And I hope that you can apply these techniques and become an extraordinary storyteller. See you in the next video. Welcome you to Hill Connects.